And joining me to talk more in the studio is Professor Uche Uwaleke, Director, Institute of Capital Market Studies at the Nasarawa State University. Professor, you're welcome to the Network News.
Thanks so much.
All right, another increase as expected after the inflation figures came out last week. What does this imply?
Well, it has a number of implications for the economy. I keep arguing that the major challenge we are facing today in Nigeria isn't just inflation, it is stagflation. Stagflation is a situation in which you're also faced with tepid economic growth. For some time now, we've not had any real GDP growth that is above 3% on the average. So I think that should also bother the central bank. Yes, I recognize that the primary mandate of the central bank is to maintain monetary stability, but the central bank, in doing so, should also have an eye on output, on the impact of any decision that is taken on output. Recall that between February and March, just within 1 month, the MPC took the MPR up by as much as 600 basis points. And I had expected that at this meeting, the MPC would have at least paused rate to watch the impact of what they had done just a couple of weeks ago, on the economy, and before resuming this this rate hike. Yes. Inflation rate is still elevated at 33.69, and we also recall that was also despite the aggressive rate hike that was done in February and March. So what that tells you is that inflation rate is not going to come down simply by raising the MPR, and this much was even admitted by the CBN governor, when he was talking, because he also said, mentioned the real factors driving inflation rate in Nigeria, and if you look at them critically, a large part of that, is non-monetary, and it's only the monetary factors that the central bank actually can tackle. The non-monetary aspect, namely insecurity, which he mentioned. Even transport challenges. These are factors that are outside the control of the central bank. So I don't think the approach to dealing with inflation, the mindset that, yes, it is my bit to deal with inflation, let the government or fiscal side handle the output part. I don't think that is the kind of approach we should be adopting. It's one economy. The two must be talking together. The two must be working together, not only to deal with inflation, but also to deal with the output challenge, which, of course, is also connected to employment, is connected to poverty.
Okay, Prof, just before I let you go now, the CBN attributed the volatility in the foreign exchange market to seasonal demand. How long do you see this lasting?
Well, as far as the forex market is concerned, I will give it to the central bank. They've taken a number of measures to, bring about stability and even confidence, in that market. But what's important is to ensure that we put in place, sustainable measures that will bring in inflows. Okay, it's not about focusing on the, what a lot of people call hot money. Trying to raise rates because you want to. Attract foreign portfolio investment. Foreign portfolio investors come in today, okay, bring in their money today, and then rates come down, and in 3 months' time or 6 months' time, they're exiting. And when they're exiting, the pressure still, returns. So I don't think that's a sustainable way to address the issue of, forex. The best way, to do that, as I said, is this handshake between fiscal and monetary policy, which is also why I want to say that this is the time to actually put in place that coordinating committee between the fiscal side and the monetary side. And I tell you why I also say that. If you notice the MPC communique, the GDP growth rate that is being projected by the central bank is 3.38%, whereas the fiscal side is talking about 3.76%. Meanwhile, it's the same economy, and you're having different forecasts with respect to output. So there is need for coordination in dealing with the stagflation challenge we have in the Nigerian economy today.
Many thanks, Professor Uche Uwaleke. I know you have loads and loads of information about that. The much we can take. He is the Director, Institute of Capital Market Studies at the Nasarawa State University. Thanks for your input on the Network News.
Thank you for inviting me.